Hello! So today we're working on our doll look. So it's a little bit more abstract. It's not so like Halloween-y obvious doll face. It's a little bit more artistic, I think, but enough that you get the idea. So here's just a quick scan of the finished look. And now we're going to break down to you how to accomplish this look. So here we go. Alrighty, so I went ahead and I just put on my foundation already, and I used both a liquid, which is Maybelline Dream Liquid Mousse, and I also used a mineral powder, which is also Maybelline, and it's just called Mineral Power. Okay, and it comes with one of these small little kabuki brushes. So I went ahead and did that since I've already covered like putting on foundation in prior videos. That way I'm not continuing to repeat myself. You can just take a look at one of the other ones for either of the West Guards on putting on foundation and moisturizer, because it's very important. I also went ahead and put on a face primer, which is by Tarina Tarantino. It's called Pearl Glow Primer. You don't have to use that one. Again, a lot of these I get for free because Melody works at Sephora, so she gets some gratis. And so I don't have to worry about paying for them, but some of these are pretty pricey. And I also put on an eye primer that is by Bare Minerals, and it's just called Prime Time. So we're ready to just go ahead and get started on the color. So for the eye, what you're going to want to do is, I'm using a liquid, and this is just by Almay. It's just liquid liner, and it's black, and you're going to want to get black. So I'm just going to find something that's close to me that has a straight edge. And what I'm using is just another makeup case, because it has a long straight edge like this. I am going to take out my liquid liner, and this is going to be really light because all you want to do is kind of set up a guide for yourself, because you're going to go over it again later. So I'm going to go ahead and put this across my eye at slightly like diagonal like this, and then take the liquid liner and start all the way at the top where my eyebrow is and make a light little line above and below, just like that. I know it's a little crooked, but it's fine for right now because it's just your guide. And then you're going to do the same thing going the opposite direction, so you're kind of making an X. So I'm going to go this way, kind of close my eye a little bit, and then just lightly make a little line like that. So you should kind of have an X on your eye. Okay? From there, I'm going to get a really like vibrant bronze color, and I am using L'Oreal Hip, and it just is two different metallic shadows, and the colors are called Charged for the two of them. You should have a lot of these from Field Season. So it's just like a really like bright gold kind of color, and then another that's like more bronze. Okay, we're going to use the brighter one, and I'm going to go ahead and get out a brush. And I'm using a kind of a round tip one like so, and it's a little small. So I'm just going to lightly tap on the gold and then blow off the excess so it's not falling on your face. And then I'm going to go over the outside of this X. So from that line that we got set up, I'm going to tap all the way down to the lid. I'm going to start to pull out towards the side of my eyelid. And I would just go down like the diagonal of my eyebrow and then connect it to like the edge of my eye like that. Yeah. And then I'm gonna do a second coat so it's really nice and vibrant all over again. So I'm going out and pulling, 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 pulling. Yeah? So it's really pretty vibrant and bright and shiny. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the bottom. I'm going to start on the outside of that little X there, up against my lid, getting all the way up in there, and then start to pull down and connect it to the top a little bit. Yeah? So you're kind of creating a little point here. So you have kind of a diamond on the outside of your eye. Do we see that? And it's kind of going right on the top of my cheekbone here. I'm not going any farther below that. Good. So from there, you are going to mimic all of that on the inside with another color. And I am using a Sephora eyeshadow palette, and I'm going to be using this like darker green one right in there. Okay? And obviously you're recognizing that these colors are kind of pulling from colors we're using in the show. It's a lot of neutrals. So I'm using that same round brush, just wiped it off, blowing off the excess. I have the green on, and now I'm going to do that to the inside. So I'm going at the top here, following that line. And it's okay if you go over the black a little bit. Try to stay inside the lines, but if you go over it a little bit, it's fine, because we're going to clean that up. And I'm just following the inside of my nose bridge down to the bottom, going underneath. I don't have a problem right now with getting underneath my eye, but if you do, it's probably better if you like look in your mirror and you kind of tilt your head down and look up. It's easier to get underneath your eye. But if you're used to it by now, then you don't have to worry about it. And then, just like before, I'm going over and doing a second coat over everything. Yeah? So it's pretty vibrant on the inside and on the outside. Are we okay? And so you're really leaving no color in the middle there. It should just clearly be like your natural skin color. So from there, we're just going to go back to our liquid and then just clean your lines up so they're really nice and solid. And you're going to want to make really small little strokes because it spreads and you don't want to make a mess. You want to make it cleaner. Good, so that's a pretty dark X, and we're going to stop there, and you should too, and kind of let it just dry because the liquid is going to take a little bit. Try to resist the urge to open your eye all the way because then you're going to ruin the line. So I'm going to let this dry. I'm going to do all of that on the other side, and then we'll be back for the next step. Okay, so this is what it looks like with both eyes done. So I did the exact same thing on the other side. I also, redid the X's so that they're a lot darker and more solid, so you can see them from farther away. I also took them a little bit above my eyebrow on both sides, so it's a really large X. And then I went ahead and got a black pencil, and then I kind of colored my eyebrows in a little bit more so you can see the definition of them, and it doesn't look weird because I got eyeshadow all over my eyebrows. So the next step that we're going to go ahead and approach is the lip. Now I feel the same way about lips as I do about the rest of your face, as I've talked about in past videos, is moisturize first. It's really hard to add lipstick or color to chapped, crusty lips. Make sure that it's rubbed in pretty well because you don't want it too slippery so that the color that you're going to add doesn't attach. So I'm going to start off with just a regular pink lipstick, and this color is called Rose Quartz. It's by CoverGirl. It's the same lipstick I used in the West JV video, and I'm going to aim to get it just on the center of my lip. So I'm going to fill in that little V and go straight down. And then I'm going to go to the bottom lip and go across right in the center, right below it. And then I'm going to actually go a little bit below my lip and kind of make a point. So you're actually trying to almost make like the shape of a heart. Yeah. Do you see that? From there, I am using, this is from the Tarte line, and they made a special line for True Blood, the TV show that was like about vampires and stuff. And this is a stain. So be careful with this because it can be pretty potent, and a little goes a long way. So I'm going to take a small thin brush like so, and I'm going to get some of the stain on the brush and just kind of rubbing it on there. And now I'm going to go over the pink. So you're starting the same place right there in the center. Draw your outline. And then start to go down. Take that pencil that we used for the eyebrows. And we're going to draw in the outline of it. See that? Great. So then from there, to get a little bit more contrast so that you can really see the difference, I'm going to take a little bit more foundation and go on the outside of my lips, so it starts to kind of blend in with the rest of my skin. So you can really only see the line. It sticks out a lot more compared to the rest of the face, and now the color in the middle is starting to pop a little bit more. And if you go over the line a little bit, it's fine, because you can just take the pencil and then go back over all of that and clean that up. Yeah. From there, you're just going to take that same pencil, go to the outside of your lip, that corner right there, and start to take it out. And slope up towards your cheekbone a little bit. And then do the same thing on the other side. Did you see that? Kind of creepy, I know. But, you know, that's what we're going for. Dark dolls. So, that is that. Yeah? So now the next step we're going to go on to is the cheek. So, I'm going to just clean this up a little bit, and then we'll do the cheek and our eyes next. Alrighty, so the next step that we did was blush, and what I did is I just took a regular blush brush, and I got my palette. This is the same palette I used to make my X's on my eyes. Inside I have a highlight, a bronzer, and a blush. So I used the blush, and I just dotted on each of the apples of my cheeks. If you smile, that like really round part right there, you just tap it a couple times, and then I pulled it out on both sides. And what I also did was I took my pencil and I added some black eyeliner on both sides, right along the bottom of my eyelid, and I also used my mascara. I'm using Urban Decay Lush Lash, but again, that's probably expensive, so I mean, if you can find something that works for you at the local drugstore, by all means use that. For the longest time, my favorite mascara was Lash Blast, which I believe is by CoverGirl, but now that, you know, I have friends in high places, I use that instead. So, I went ahead and added that onto my eyelashes on the top and the bottom, if you can see that. So, if you have shorter lashes or pretty thin lashes, I would recommend getting false lashes and putting them on. And if you've never really done that before, you can take a look at the JV's tutorial, and I kind of use a step-by-step putting fake lashes on, so you can watch that. So here we are, X's, olive on the inside, that bronze kind of color on the outside, no color in the middle, the heart on the lip, and the smile kind of going up to make you look a little bit more like a doll. Yeah? So the only thing left to do from here is I am going to take my liquid again, and just how during field season each of us had something a little bit different, it's going to be the same thing with this. What I would do is maybe like at your neckline, just kind of find a space. I'm going to just choose right here, and I am going to draw a little bit of a wavy line like that. And then I'm going to add my X's all along it. make it look like some stitches because you're a rag doll. And then I'm maybe one more somewhere else. Don't get too crazy with it. I'm just going to go right there. We have it over here. That's good enough for me. But everyone can kind of put it in a different place somewhere here. Yeah. Try to stay. There's enough going on in the face, so try to stay away from that. So that's it. If you have any questions, feel free to leave comments, and I will try to get back to you as soon as possible. Okay? Thanks a lot.